Nigerian President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has dissolved and replaced the board of 3 significant market institutions within his first year in office. The central bank was the first in 2023. Then last week, the boards of the SEC and the National Insurance Commission were also dissolved or reconstructed. Let's chat a bit tomorrow to these significant leadership changes on Broad Street as we bring on Chukwu, a market professional and a group CEO at Carry Asset Management. Sir, we thank you for connecting into the show tonight as we start the new week. Thank you very much. Tell me, what is the word on Market Street regarding this wholesale leadership change that just announced by Mr. President for the SEC? We haven't seen this in a number of years.
Thank you, Bosi, for having me. If there's anything the market is saying is that the president has shown a lot of commitment to market reforms, and it's not like the immediate past president where we were all waiting for key decisions on appointment or reappointment or reassignment of critical office holders. We've seen, like you rightly pointed out, we see the president change the board of the central bank, entire board of central bank. We see the president change the board of National Insurance Commission. We've seen the president change the board of Security and Exchange Commission. And like these are 3 critical economic focused agencies of government. They are the key drivers of policy changes or policy direction of the economy. So one would say that we've seen a lot of traction in terms of measures taken by the president, particularly when it comes to appointment of the key policy office holders.
What do you think the chief focus should be for the new SEC board led by Agama, Ememotimi Agama? I'm sure you have him. We have him on the board. We also have former the founding CEO of NAICOM over-the-counter, Bola Jomale, also who's been serving as the commissioner for operations for the SEC. What should be the focus of this new board? Are these a round peg and round holes, as it were, across the executive and non-executive board of the SEC? Let's stick with the SEC for now.
The first thing is that I would say that they will focus on broadening and deepening the market, the capital market. Good thing that rightly pointed out, we have round peg on round holes. If you look at Timi Agama or Bola Jomale, or even the non-executive directors, or even Frana, who is the head of legal, executive commissioner at legal. So if you look at the composition of the key policy holders or office holders in SEC as appointed by the president, you will clearly say that there is going to be a well-defined economic direction or policy direction for SEC. First thing is that we need to focus on deepening the market, broadening the market. When you talk about broadening the market, you're talking about introducing new products in the market. And Timi Agama is already open-minded when it comes to introducing new products into the market, new class of products into the market. If you remember some of his comments where he said that SEC should be open to review and possibly regulate the digital technology industry or cryptocurrency. And then beyond that, you look at somebody like Bola Jomale, who is very vast in operations, having been the pioneer MD of NASD. But beyond that, we also look at how do we bring in new companies to be listed, how do we strengthen compliance and regulation. And remember that SEC is the highest regulatory organ in the capital market. So we must continue to strengthen regulation. We must make the Nigerian capital market to be as integrated globally as it should be. We already have Nigerian companies having cross-listing in other countries. We already have the likes of CSCS, NGS, taking position in Ethiopian bourse. So these are where we should be going to. One, let's increase the number and class of products that are available in the market so that we can attract every interest in the capital market. 2, we must improve on regulation. We must improve on the integrity of the market, and those should be the primary focus of the current management or leadership of SEC.
We started the conversation and you laid the ground as far as President Tinubu is concerned, changing the entire leadership of the central bank. Well, that wowed everyone last year. Now you have the SEC back to back with NAICOM. This, you said, these are very critical institutions, look like the tripod, as it were, as far as the financial markets of any country is concerned, Nigeria, when you talk about the SEC, the Central Bank, and NAICOM. Do you have any idea what Mr. President is aiming at? How critical are these three institutions to the kind of reforms that the President wants to see moving forward in terms of galvanizing the economy, looking at perhaps $1 trillion economy, GDP, over the next couple of years?
You know, Boston, if you cast your mind back to last year when the electionary campaigns were going on, the feeling we all had was that we had three frontrunners who were all market-oriented presidential candidates. And the president, I mean, there's no doubt if you look at his background and his experience or his performance as a governor of central bank, is a market-oriented leader. And that's, if you look at what is going on today, you see policy orientation towards a free market economy. We've seen the central bank focus on freeing up some of the bottlenecks that were created by previous administrations to make it a market, to make this economy market oriented. If you look at the current newly appointed leadership of Securities and Exchange Commission, headed by Tinubu Agama, like I said earlier, is somebody who is focused on, who believes in that we should open the market to new products, new services, new listing, and that we shouldn't shut our doors to technology. And that's why he had made it clear that his approach, I mean, even before he became the DG of SEC, that his approach would be to understudy the digital cryptocurrency economy and ensure that Nigeria is fully integrated into it. That will show you the broadness and the market-oriented thinking of people who have been appointed. So if you ask me to summarize in one word, in one sentence, I would say that the president is looking at how to position the key drivers, the key regulators of the economy to be focused, to be market-oriented.
Also, so how should investors and indeed you market professionals and institutions position prepare for the new line of regulatory direction on Broad Street? I'm sure you'll be thinking when the first Capital Market Committee of the SEC will take place. What will be the key discussion in the room? Welcoming Tinubu Agama, the new chairman, and the other executive commissioners formally into the regulatory position. Of course, they are not new men and women on Market Street, by the way, including Garba Kurfi.
Yes, all of them are basically well-known market operators. One of the things we should expect at the CMC meeting is that the new management will drive towards improving the volume of transaction in the market by getting more companies listed. And that will also entail that we have to drive towards formalizing the economy. Some of the challenges we have so far in the economy is that, or in terms of capital market capitalization, is that our economy is largely informal. If you look at a country like South Africa, where the capitalization of the exchange is multiple times the GDP of South Africa, it's principally because many business sectors in the economy, in that South African economy, that are formalized and not formalized here. Take, for instance, the retail sector. Today, we don't have any companies quoted in the retail segment of the Nigerian economy. Whereas trade accounts for about 60% of the GDP. The agriculture sector, which accounts for about 25% of the GDP, there are only about 2 or 3 companies listed, and the capital market capitalization is inconsequential to the overall capitalization of the economy. The key drivers of the economy are not listed. So because we are basically running an informal economic system. So for us to have the broadness we need in the capital market, we need to drive towards formalizing the economy. And I think that's one of the things they should focus on, which is at a larger level of driving some level of structures around the economy that will allow businesses to grow and become corporates, and then employ more people and have the corporate governance structure that will even allow us to go and begin to operate us outside the country as multinationals.
Interesting. We'll be keeping an eye on the CMC meeting, and very important, I'm sure, the Capital Market Master Plan, which was reviewed under Yuguda as the head of the SEC, now the former head of the SEC, I'm sure will be in focus as well. But let's see what the new dynamism will come into play under the new leadership at the SEC. Thank you so much, as well as NAICOM. We thank you for sharing your deep insights of the financial markets with us, as always, on Rise Exchange. Have a great week ahead. Justin Chukwu, market professional and Group CEO at Carry Asset Management. Thank you.